Battlefield 6 is suffering from a severe case of split personality disorder. And to be fair, this has been a problem since launch. The Winter Offensive update just made those symptoms impossible to ignore. On one hand, the engineers built this glorious sandbox with dozens of players per match that feels tight, responsive, and tactical most of the time. On the other hand, the executives are trying to force-feed us a dopamine-fried arcade shooter designed to look good in 15-second vertical video while cutting enough corners you might mistake them for physicists. And right now, the game is confused. They gave us Escalation, a mode that rewards a perfect balance of patience, aggression, and macro play, and is, in my opinion, the best thing to happen to Battlefield in the past decade. But then they optimized the maps by removing flank routes and shifting both capture zone locations and vehicle spawns, effectively forcing us into a meat grinder just to inflate their engagement metrics. They fixed the engine, but then outsourced the art department to an AI algorithm to save on FTE for the week. So today, we're auditing the current state of the game and, more importantly, recent decision-making. We're going to fix the stuttering. It's a platform conflict, not an engine failure. We're going to discuss how bad design creates meta slaves, and we're going to have a serious talk about the integrity of the studio. First, let's clear the air on performance, shall we? The usual places are screaming that the winter update bricked the optimization. I'm running this on a 9800X3D and 5090 at native 1440p. I'm pulling a locked 360 FPS with end-to-end PC latency around 18 milliseconds. I can knock that down to 12 to 14 milliseconds in heavy combat if I want to experience 1% lows that are different than my max FPS. The engine is fine. The ecosystem is broken. You don't have to take my word for it. DICE literally admitted in the patch notes. The stutter, most recently at least, is the Steam overlay aggressively polling the server. 1. Do what the dev said. Go offline on your Steam friends list. Stutter gone, most likely. 2. If you're on Team Green, check your NVIDIA control panel. For whatever reason, there was a recent update that reset physics to CPU. Force it back to the GPU. 3. If you're getting stuck in the air in the BR, well, they say they fixed that back-end issue recently. But if not, run the anti-cheat repair tool. 3-point bonus. Realistically, anybody playing on PC needs to check out Freethe's optimization guide. Link is in the description. Yes, it's long. Your reward for having a modicum of attention span is a game that runs better than everyone else's, which does matter in a competitive shooter. This shouldn't be our job to fix, but here we are. Now, this isn't bad coding by a dev. It's a lack of QA on the platform integration. Run the checklist, and the game runs like it used to. Or better, if you've not seen Freethe's stuff before. You're welcome. But I cannot defend the map design changes. Let's look at the new breakthrough layout on Manhattan Bridge as an example. I mean, yeah, it was swingy before. The first set of objectives was nightmarish for the attackers. Now, it's kind of the same, just moved 500 feet on the second set of objectives. I mean, this second sector used to be a wide tactical push, with one of the objectives up on a reasonable high point, the other in a more claustrophobic space. You got a variety of gameplay. Now, they moved the capture zone off the building, directly into that Central Park area, where everyone and their brother now has an elevated firing position on you. Enjoy that. Salting the wound a little bit further here, there was a bug right around the time of the patch that allowed attacker vehicles to spawn on top of each other. It's an armor column all the way down. DICE says that they're reviewing sector flow. That is corporate speak for we broke the map and are trying to figure out how to fix it, or if we want to fix it. And realistically, these changes turned a sandbox into a Skinner box. By winnowing down the flank routes, they removed player agency. Why? Well, because constant action looks better than tactical movement on a slide deck pitching player engagement and retention to stakeholders. It's not tactical, it's a slot machine. And I lived in Vegas long enough to know better. And this fast food, more engagement, number go up design philosophy is part of what creates the meta slaves. The irony here is that the actual weapon balance in this patch is fine. Sure, some of my favorites got nerfed, and the bevy of build videos proclaiming that every gun is overpowered or the worst ever somehow at the same time reflects that overall balance. They've fixed the soldier momentum bugs, so movement feels consistent again. Quick sidebar. I just came across an excellent video outlining Battlefield's aboutness and identity. It's long, but it's well worth the listen. They nail the core concept of the series at 11 minutes and 20. Links in the description. But when I look at most of my lobbies, it's still a lot of clones running one of 4 no recoil or inhuman TTK builds. I don't blame the players for this, I blame the incentives. If the map design forces you into a meat grinder, players are naturally going to gravitate towards the path of least resistance. The lowest time to kill possible, with the lowest skill floor possible. But don't fall for that trap. The skill in Battlefield has always been adaptability. Yes, you can be a movement demon. I enjoy it. You can still break ankles, especially now that they fixed the slide momentum. But be a smart one. Swap your class, play the range at hand. If you resist the urge to just run and gun with a shotgun in the middle of a field, you'll find that the old ways, holding angles and working with a squad, still dominate the meta, and you'll be more effective, which means you'll have more fun. And you'll win more. Having more fun, it's like fun squared. Finally, the wind chill bundle. And this unfortunately is where the mask slips completely. In a paid bundle, bought with real money, the internet found this. 2 barrels merging. 2 ejection ports. The geometry of a fever dream. These are the hallmark hallucinations of an AI image generator. And not even a particularly good one. Come on, y'all, at least spring for Nano Banana or something. This isn't about new technology. This is about respect. Someone in a boardroom looked at a spreadsheet and realized they could save a couple grand by not allocating maker and manager time to the art department. They assumed you wouldn't notice. Or worse, that you wouldn't care. We are the customers. If you as a company want $20 for a cosmetic, you need to put in some human effort. Selling us unedited AI output is a breach of trust. It signals that the quality control is optional, as long as the revenue graph goes up. So is Battlefield 6 worth it, as we round out 2025? Yes, absolutely. My opinion there has been the same since launch, because despite the corporate meddling, the engineers built a masterpiece. The art department built a masterpiece. The core gunplay is the best in the genre, and I know the Howler monkeys will scream at me for not hating Bloom enough. Get good. Escalation is incredible. Conquest is still good. Shame about Rush. Maybe eventually they'll fix the wider netcode and hit reg. But in the meantime, there's plenty of game to justify the economic and temporal costs of playing. Enjoy it. But you do have to fight the system to enjoy it. 1. Go offline on Steam. DICE said so. Make sure physics is on the GPU. Run the anti-cheat repair tool if those first 2 don't work. Use free these configs. 2. Maybe skip the player engagement maps and modes. And 3. Keep your wallet closed until the MBAs get the memo. Play the game the devs built, not the game the executives are trying to sell you. I've been BaldSquid. I'll see you next time. Editing Squid here. So I just noticed we're 18 seconds shy of YouTube being more likely to push the video. And mid-roll, if I'm honest. So, here's a little bit of Cleo romping in the snow. Comment a dog emoji if you've made it this far.